Yasmine, so good to be here. See you again.
Good morning, Todd. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, doing awesome. Hey, quick question for you. In the market, it is crazy out there. And yeah, let me phrase it, how are you rebuilding trust in a post-headline market? I mean, the media is out there painting the market as unstable or overpriced. What are you doing to help your clients get to reality?
I have to say, I mean, it's mostly with my friends, right? We get together and it's like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, how are you? Are you selling any houses? Everything's terrible, isn't it? I'm like, oh, yeah, no. I understand. I'm on the inside and you're on the consumer side. And, the sky is always falling as far as
We all
I
know
don't.
negative sales, man. Nightmare sales, right? Sells
Yes,
newspapers.
exactly. Thank you. Thank you for stepping in because I was lost on what I was going to say next. But anyway, so I just tell them, it really depends on where you live. And it really depends on the condition and how well you are prepared. And we are in the Bay Area and we have buyers. We have desperate buyers. And we have sellers who are not desperate, but who are catching up. Who are catching up. They understand that not every home will sell $300,000 over list price just because we have 35 buyers for every home. But
Right.
it's really nice to see. I've had really good success advising my clients, and this year, knock on wood, they all have done, the updates and upgrades and everything in a very structured budget, with a very structured budget, that we can almost be certain that there should be a positive outcome. The listings that I have had all sold within 2 weeks,
Wow.
and most of them over list price. And I just feel, I mean, we work very, very hard. And in this market, we work even harder.
Yes.
At times you feel like you're the general contractor and the project manager and the stager and everything in one. But then, every time I finish a project, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for the painter and the contractor and the stager because they just brought it all together. They see
Right.
my vision, they understand my vision. And so, yeah, it's really, really wonderful to have a good team. And if you're all on the same page, it definitely pays off. And my sellers have been really wonderful this year.
Oh, so good to hear. Now,
Thank
as
you.
far as inspections, do you guys have pre-listing inspections? Is that normal or not?
It used to be in this area right here in the Tri Valley. Yeah, on the other side of the tunnel, it wasn't so common that we did. But about 10 years ago, the area here adjusted as more people came from the Oakland, Berkeley area, came over here, and agents started mingling more. I mean, that has happened not only in the past 10 years, but as we become a bigger community with a more expanded territory, it has kind of changed. So I always believe that full disclosure and transparency is the best way to go. So for many years, I've done it. I think for the last 10 years, I've done it, and more agents do pre inspections now. But I would say 95% have
Wow.
pre inspections.
Wow. Yeah, here in Utah, we typically
No.
do not do pre-inspections. Absolutely not. And it's mainly because of liability, meaning what they know, and we don't want them to know anything more than they already know as far as the seller.
But think about it. Think about it. That's exactly the point. So you put a house on the market. You walk into a house. The seller says, "Okay, my neighbor sold for 2.5 million. This is what I want." And I look at apples and oranges, right? So I can say, customarily we do pre-inspections. So let's do those to see how we compare, right? Because we get that done, and then all of a sudden it comes out, oh, you need a new roof, which is 50,000 because $2.5 million house, and
Right.
the plumbing or whatever, you have dry rot, you have anything, whatever there might be.
Sewer needs to be replaced, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And so in that case, the seller can say, oh, all right, so we have about $100,000 in repairs. The buyer is going to do their inspections anyway, and they are going to see that. So they are going to have an inspection contingency, right? And then afterwards, they are going to start negotiating. Well, you can get a lot of the negotiations out of the way if you have these reports up front, because it's like, oh, we are not hiding anything. We didn't really know either, but it's good to know. So here
Yep.
are the inspections. We are not saying that we are going down in price. We are not going, we are not saying if we are going to do repairs, but for informational purposes, here are the reports. So then the buyers review and they structure their price or their offer based on the findings. And I
Yeah.
think that's so much better than shooting in the dark.
That was an interesting point. We've recently put into place the certified turnkey home program, which quite frankly has been extremely helpful. But with that program, and the reason why we did that was because of the market, where the market's at right now. We're in a different market. And to try to help our listings to stand out and to increase the exposure and something unique. And for that certified turnkey home program, an inspection is required to be done. And so that's why I ask if you guys normally do pre-listing inspections, because with this program, then of course we do pre-listing
Yes, I am familiar with the program. I have looked at it, and but once I looked at it, I thought, most of the things I'm already doing, yeah, it's nice to have that, but it also raises questions, right, in the community. What does he mean? You know, where is this coming from? And all the questions amongst the realtors, right? It's kind of like, in our area here, I'm not really sure I would want to go that
the
route with my
questions. That's
clients.
exactly right. It creates questions. It creates people going, "What is going on here?" Which creates momentum.
Yes. Yes, yes, it does. But it can create momentum that, you might not like. So
Like
I think
what?
I haven't, for me, it's a temporary thing, maybe. I had enough momentum this year. So I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I'm just going to sit back a little bit before I start something new. But I think it's a great idea. So tell me a little bit more about that program, or yeah, that program
What my
and what
experience
it
was
does
with
for your
it?
clients.
Yeah. So like the homes that we've done this on, one in particular that we're closing on right now, and it was on the market before we started this program. It had been on the market for like 60 days, and we had had lots of showings and no offers. And then what we did is we went and had the pre-inspection done, and it became clear there were some things that small stuff, ticky-tack stuff, but found out the roof needed to be replaced. And so the seller replaced the roof, and now I was able to put that and announce that to the world. It's got a new roof. They already had a new water heater, a new furnace already. When I say new, within the last couple of years, and a new AC unit. And so everything else, all of the big item stuff was already taken care of. It's just that roof was not. But what happened is a couple came along and they saw the certified turnkey, and they went, "What does that mean?" And I've got it to where now I'm going to have those signs remade, because now I got a QR code that goes in that you can scan, and it tells you what does that mean.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, but I explained it to them and told them this is what it is, and the roof is being replaced, and they were like, so everything. So they went through and they were just like, done, sold, done, and so anyway,
Wonderful.
it just made it stand out above everything, all the competition. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Oh,
anyway,
I can see that. Yeah. So again, we have such different markets. I mean,
we do.
it's kind of So I had this townhouse, and we are pending, and there are two others. One is on the has been on the market for 110 days. It's owner occupied. It has red walls. They've practically done nothing. The agent, I don't understand what's going on and if they are really serious. There was another one that was on the market for 100 days. They went under contract and they are pending. And then but they started a lot earlier, right? So their market shifted while they were on the market. So that's very, very difficult.
Right.
Where I was already, I saw what's happening, so I priced it mine according to what I thought with all the upgrades and with everything done, because my client's main goal was to sell quicker. It was not necessarily about money. It was, I don't want to be on the market for 100 days. So
Right.
it's, so we strategically priced and prepared for a quicker sale. And I think that's where, you know, everything falls into place. What are your clients' goals? Do you want to sell
Exactly.
quick and possibly for a lower price, or do you want to get the highest possible price? So if you want the highest possible price, you need to put the best possible upgrades in there,
Right.
right? So that you truly stand out. And then does that really make pay off? So let's say I spent $20,000, and if my client had said, I definitely want to sell for 1,200,000, I would have said, well, then we need all new flooring, not just new carpet and not just the most affordable. Then, all the downstairs needs to get replaced, and we need to look at countertops. And so by the time we are done, we spend another 40,000. Is that effort and the time really worth it, not knowing if we are actually going to get that money?
Right.
So I feel, start with a reasonable approach
Right.
and follow
Absolutely.
the lead of the seller requests.
Right. But I love what you said though. It's all up to the homeowner. What are the
Mhm.
objectives? What are your clients' objectives on how you structure it, how you put it together?
Yes,
And in this market, at least here in Utah, and I think it's similar, strategy is everything.
yes,
You cannot just wing it. You have to have a
no,
strategy.
yeah. Yes, and I mean, if I when I follow my fellow agents on social media, so it is very, very obvious. The people who either you can even tell newer agents who hustle, right? They have a strategy because they know how important it is, and then the agents who are in the field all the time, they very quickly realize, whoa, everything's changing. I better step up my game, and I have a strategy. And then there are the people who possibly work part-time, and they're a little bit behind the curve, and they haven't even caught up to what's happening right now. So I feel that there is a reason why we see people leaving the industry. It's so demanding right now, and I don't think it's going to get a lot better. I think we are lucky that we keep learning, and we have coaching programs, and that we really try hard to stay on top of our industry. But it's not like it was during COVID, or you know during the before the financial crisis, where
Right.
anybody could just get a license and sell 5 6 houses a year.
And there's two ways to look at that, which I love it because I'm like barriers of entry, man. Bring in the barriers of entry. It cleans the industry from the
Yes,
incompetence and from the people that are just. I mean, there's periods of time in our history where a dog with a note in its mouth could sell real estate or at least
yes.
get under contract. Closing the deal is a whole different ball game.
Mhm.
But it's like I love the barriers of entry. I love it when we go through a cleansing period because it's like it's time to take up market share, and
Yes,
it's great.
yes. it's
Well,
uh it's been an interesting year, to say the least.
absolutely. It's always such a pleasure, Yasmin. You
Yes.
have an amazing week, and we will see you again
Thank
next
you.
week.
Wonderful. See you next week.
Take care.
Bye.